So it's Saturday the 15th of the 12th, as you can see there, 2018. I just thought I'd show you that. 299 subscribers. That's good, isn't it? One more to go. Thank you all for joining in. We're going down to the plots again this morning. We're thinking about doing a hoop tent to mirror Mick's hoop tent on the yin yang. Sorry, it's dead early and I'm knackered. So there'll be other things that we're doing as well. Me and Magical Michael once again. And so yeah, we'll see you then. And I'm just going to have a cup of coffee. Because I've only just got up, have a cup of coffee and get myself up to the plot, so we'll see you down there for lots of fun and games. Okay, see you in a bit. Yeah, so we didn't shoot anything yesterday. It was shocking, it was freezing. The rain was freezing, it was bouncing down, it was howling with wind. We did do some work. Me and Mick did about an hour and a half's worth of work yesterday, but we didn't manage to get any filming done, which is always sad, because Magical Mick is a superstar. He's a superstar. Superstar. But we didn't get any filming done because of that wind, that rain. It was freezing cold, absolutely freezing cold. It was -3 on the plot. And I looked inside me, and that was inside the greenhouse, so it was probably about -5 or something. It was, everything was iced up. It was horrible. So I've been back down today, so this next bit will be what we've actually shot today. But I just thought I'd put that, me getting up at 6:30 in the morning to go down on an absolutely freezing cold winter's morning to do a bit of work that never happened. It's such a shame. I saw our Mick for a bit anyway. I saw Mick for about an hour and a half, and we did all right. What me and Mick did do is we chopped off, we cut back some of the fruit trees, the pear and apple trees. We did that. We did a little bit of tidying up, but it was so cold, absolutely freezing cold. And in this bit that you're going to see next is what we've shot today, what I've shot today, which is the 16th, December the 16th, the Sunday. It was cold, very cold again this morning, but not raining. And then it picked up and it was nice. The weather was nice. So that's alright, isn't it? But then I had to go, I was supposed to go swimming with the kids. I say I'm going swimming with the kids, but it ended up that Lady Farmer took them instead. Because I was late getting back. Because I got chatting with Pat. Anyway, enjoy. See you in a bit. So yeah, Sunday the 16th or something like that it is today. No Mick today, no magic. He's gone back to hunt for haggis up there in Scotland. So yeah, I've just been filling up a few beds and emptying those pots and whatnot today. I'm going to use up this Erin Molly's compost and just top up that top bed up there now. And then that's me, because I'm going swimming in a bit. But yeah, I've been down here for about 3 hours this morning just to get everything shifted and sorted. So we're going to crack on with that, get that done. Pat's just been down. She's took in our request form for a new plot, or an additional plot for the Lady Farmer and the boys. So hopefully, fingers crossed, come the new year, in the new year we'll have another one to go at. More land, more to plant out, more to grow, more space, more things to grow. That's the plan. So hopefully that'll be coming to fruition shortly. Yeah, so I've been topping off a few beds. Look, top that one off there near the cherry tree. I'm going to lighten that up later in the new year. Once it's dropped, I'm going to lighten that up and fork it in with some perlite and stuff like that, vermiculite, perlite, that kind of thing. Not a load, but some a couple of bags of that, a couple of cheap bags of that, and get some well rotted manure in it. That'll probably be end of January. I'm going to do that with most of these beds just to lighten the soil up a little bit. The ones where the brassicas are going, I'm not going to lighten it because they like a good firm purchase, your brassicas. So that's not going to happen with those ones. But the ones where we're going to be planting other things apart from brassicas, we're going to lighten it a little bit, get better drainage in there. Yeah, everything's still going okay. The garlic and the onions are still running all right. I'm going to take some more of that kale later on as well, because that's looking nice, and we'll get that out of the way. So come probably end of January, all that'll be gone, and that bed will be amended as well. And I've got to do these ones now where we put the path. Look at that path. That path's looking all right, isn't it? That new path that we put in. It's looking okay. But there's loads and loads of tidying up to do, as you can see. It's a right midden. But I'm going to leave that from when I'm off in between Christmas and New Year. I'll have a couple of days down here then and get all that sorted out, ready for next year. I won't buy next year, by the new year, everything to be clean, straight and ordered down here. All the beds are going to be put in their final resting places and all of that. But you can't do it all at once. You just do what you can do. And today, the job for today is to top off some of these beds and empty all those pots out into the compost. And that's what I'm doing. And that's what you do. Just crack on. You don't have to kill yourself. It's a pleasure. It's a hobby. You don't have to kill yourself. Although I'll probably be killing myself next year if I do get that the additional plot. It's not work though. It's not light work. It's a pleasure to do it. You're doing it yourself. You're creating things yourself. So it's not a pain to do it. It is a pleasure to do it. A joy. Unless it's absolutely bitterly freezing cold and peeing down like it was yesterday. This morning as well, it was -2 when I first came down. I was going to do like Dave does on Dave's allotment. Dave's allotment! Where he smashes the ice with his head. It's a "See you, Jimmy." I was going to do that this morning because it was all iced over, all the buckets and the ground. But I didn't. It was too cold. He's mad. He's off his head. Oh, when we took those black currant bushes out, we've got all these here, all the roots. So I'm going to be using them, I'm going to be putting them somewhere, or we're going to be offering them to others to use. That's when we put the path in here. When we took all the black currant bushes out that the birds were eating last time, to put that path in. So we're just going to move them and see if we can sort something out, see if we can, you know, get some netting around them or whatever. Because they are blackcurrant bushes and it's a pity to waste them. They're a 5 at a bush, aren't they? There's about 10 there. So we're going to find a home for them. We're going to do something with them. Alright, see you in a bit. Where are we going to put all this? In here. Well, they've all gone. Where could they have gone to? It's all in here. So that's probably more than half filled the compost corral. And if you remember, underneath that there's a load of vegetation and there's a load of horse manure as well. About 10 bags of horse manure and a load of garden vegetation. But there's about another, I would say another third of it that's been filled by all of the pots that we've emptied into it. And I'm thinking it's probably going to be okay. That, yeah, there's a couple of little weeds in there, but over the next 3 months they'll probably die off, or they'll certainly be very weak. And we'll put those in the bottom of the beds and then top them off. Try and riddle it all out as much as we can. So we're just left with the good earth, the good composty earth, with the horse manure in it and the vegetation in it, cardboard in there as well underneath all that. We'll let the worms do the work. Let the worms do the work.
Now again, there's some of the soil that we took out when we moved all the earth for putting the path in. And as you can see in that, we've got all the horse's tail, so that's going to have to be riddled out before that gets put in for using for growing in. So we'll get rid of all the horse's tail, otherwise we'll get horse's tail popping up everywhere. So we'll get rid of all of that first, and then in that goes, there's about a barrow's worth there. Become a nice growing medium. I've been putting the topsoil that we got into that big bed. As you saw the other day, I did half of it the other day, but I've just filled it, not necessarily filled to the top, because I'm going to be putting other things on top of that. I'm going to be putting some herring compost on top of that and working that in, and then covering it over for the next 3 months. But as you can see there, I've still got loads left of that soil actually. I've got about 2 or 3 barrels full left of that soil to use. So we are going to use that, but I just thought I'd show you that when it's all nice and full. And it's not bursting out at the seams, is it? Because of all the rib supports that we put in. It's all nice and straight and flat. All the way up. Which is what you want. I've got tons of buckets as well left behind. I've got buckets there. Buckets and growing troughs there. Loads of buckets there. Couple of buckets there that I've just emptied. When I say couple, probably about 40. Loads of them there in the big rubble pile at the front. And yet more and more in the tiki hut, which is looking at a right state. Look at the state of this place. I did this about a month ago. It was tip top about a month ago, this. I've just dumped everything in here while I've cleared out on the plot. So that needs sorting, doesn't it?
There's about 15 minutes worth of footage where I go into great detail, right, about liming the soil, good drainage for your soil, all the amendments that you need to do and practices you need to do to assist in getting rid of club root and suppressing club root. And I can't open the file. It was like a 4 gig or whatever file. It was massive. It took us about 25 minutes. It's gone. What a pain in the backside. Anyway, you'll see the bed's limed and you'll hear me talking a little bit about it in this next bit, but it's just all gone. Essentially, with club root, you don't plant brassicas in there for at least 3 to 5 years after you've got club root, and you lime it. You make sure the drainage is good, because I went into cracking great detail. It was like David Bellamy or something like that, or David Attenborough talking about the mycology of the soil. And the way that the spores, or whatever they are, the disease actually swims through the soil, and you know, so you need to get a drier soil, well drained, and all of that carry on. But it's gone. I did it live on site. It would have been ace, that, but not anymore. I'll have to shoot it again in the new year. So yeah. I've lost about, must be 14, 15 minutes worth of film in there. Again. I'll have to get a proper camera. I'll have to get a proper setup. I'll see what Father Christmas brings me. Alright. Watch this last bit. See you in a bit.
Yeah, so it's 12:30 now. Done about 3 hours altogether, about 3.5 hours. Well, actually, probably, yeah, about 3 hours. Been chatting away up at the top with Joe and the lads for a bit this morning, for about an hour. So yeah, done a bit of clearing out and tidying up. It's got to be done. All them bags are gone here. The buckets have gone into here, and also behind the tiki hut. This is practically full now, this. in the, not that far off the top, which is good, because that'll all rot down, and by springtime it should be fine. I've tidied away all of those noggins and stacked them nicely there. That's all topped off. It's only an inch or two from the top, that, most of the way along, and that'll drop that over the next couple of months, and then it can be topped off and nourished just before planting time in the spring, and working the amendments then in the springtime. But that's going to be covered up as well in between Christmas and New Year. Like I say, I've cleared that away because I'm putting the permission in for the greenhouse, which is going to be going face to face with this greenhouse. That is definitely going there. In fact, the frame for it's over here. It's been sat on mix side for ages, getting covered in muck, but it'll only take about half an hour to clean all that off. It's all there, everything's there for it. It just needs cleaning up and tarting up. I've cleared off that patio there mostly as well. Got rid of the majority of that. There's still some paint in that value pack there, so I'm going to keep hold of that. Oh, there's a little Bradley bottle there hiding. Way, way. Some more buckets there. That was the old Billy Connolly thing, where you know you're a middle-aged man, where you bend over and you go, "Ah!" So for no reason. So that's us, and we've got a lot of mess that we've created, so we're going to have a tip run. Might need 2 tip runs, to be honest, but you've got to keep on top of it. As I say, this time, well, 2 weeks time, New Year, should all be fine and dandy and completely smart. But yeah, one job at a time. I've only got one of them herrings left, because I've topped everything off. I've limed that, that's been limed. That bed's been limed at the top, because that's going to be a brassica bed this next year. That's been limed and topped off. That one's actually been limed twice, as I recall. That's been limed once. Topped off inside here as well. Inside there, everything's topped off inside there. I've used up the last of that 2 tons of soil that we got for the big bed in there, so that's all topped off and covered. And there you go. That's where we're up to. That's us. There's only them 2 beds there with the nets on, but they're going to be done next year with what we're going to produce from up at the top in that compost bed, compost corral. All the compost corral stuff's going to go into them too, because there'll be a good ton there that'll just top them off. Weed it first, lime it, and top them off over the next couple of months. So yeah, just crack on, don't you? Keep going at it, keep moving forwards all the time. Because I've got all this soil here, I noticed. That was where that compost heap was, that compost bin was. There's more compost growing inside there. And there's a big mound there that I chucked through when we were emptying one of Steve's beds at the back. And we were getting that, we were getting them flags out. There's those flags still to move yet. There's still about 6 or 7 flags to move, so we can complete this path here. Those thin flags there, for you Americans, it's the sidewalk paving that we're on. And then the memory card goes at the end. Flipping heck! I'm so sorry. I will get better. I'll get better equipment. I'll get a better mind, so I don't keep doing this. You know, like we're overrunning and doing that kind of carry on. But anyway, there you go. So it's all in the video there. I'm gonna do the. I've been contemplating doing my own sort of growers challenge thing that I'm going to pass around to some of my favourite growers and let them pass it on to everybody else. There's loads of these going around, as I say, at the moment. But that's it for this week. And so for next week, in that last bit that got cut off is because the memory card ran out. It wasn't the power going this time, it was the memory card going.
So all I was talking about is getting those paths completed, because we've got the stone flags. And for the American viewers, it's paving slabs or sidewalk paving all the way up to the top where the greenhouse is. There's lots of plans and plots of foot. You can't do it all in one episode, can you? So we'll see you next time. We're not going to be down now until we break up for the Christmas holidays, which is next week. On the 21st, I think it is, of next week, or the 22nd. That's when we break up. From school, I nearly said then, from work. We're not working Christmas Eve. We're stopping next Friday at about 1:30, and then that'll be us then until the 2nd of January. So over the winter holiday, the Christmas holiday, we'll be doing other bits and pieces to get everything ready for next year. Don't worry though, if you're on the plots and you can't get it all done, don't worry about it. Life's too short. Spend some time with your kids, all that. There's plenty of time until we have to start growing stuff again. I mean, it's going to be about another 8 weeks until we can properly start growing things again. Ready for spring, summer, autumn, back into early December. Don't worry too much about it, but it's been bitterly cold, and what I will be doing over these next 6 or 7 weeks is showing you how to keep warm, because I'll have to teach myself as well on some of it, but how to repair your clothing, how to look after your tools, what tools you need to do the jobs that we've done this last year. I'll do a year roundup. By the time it comes to January, February, March, back end of February, that'll be when we've had the plot for 1 year. So I'll do a full roundup then, and hopefully show you the videography changes, the photography changes since it was incepted as a plot, which we got our hands on it on the 27th of February 2018. So on the 28th, probably, of February 2019, we'll give you that plot rundown. And we'll also be bringing in people like Mick and Uncle Joe from Mexico, and the other people that we've been showing you over the last 12 months, and talking about what those guys are doing and what the plans are for this next year. So that's all coming up in the new year. But yeah, if you like it, please like, comment, subscribe and ring our bell. If you don't like it, you know where to go, you can do one. But persevere with it, it's alright. Ish. Alright, so we'll see you later on. I'll leave you with my pouting face. Have a cracking week, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye now. I've just spotted that. It's Sunday the 16th, and it's just gone 3:10. We've got 306 subscribers. Yippee!